Before you ask, yeah, it's 5 a.m. in the morning in Vancouver as I'm talking to you in this microphone. I was up late. Honestly, honest to goodness gracious, I was looking at hockey cards on eBay. I've been really into this hobby lately, and it's kind of been taking over my psyche as of late, but I stayed up late enough to actually see the newest Montreal Canadiens news, because Kent Hughes has made himself a move. You know how everybody's saying that the Canadiens have too many defensemen? Well, let's add on another one to that, shall we? This was posted about half an hour ago. I was kind of too deep into my bargaining when it comes to eBay hockey cards. Yeah, Upper Deck has kind of got me in a chokehold right now. But the Montreal Canadiens have agreed to terms with a 3-year ELC starting in 24-25 with defenseman Adam Engstrom. Now, in order to get a little bit of a glimpse as to what Engstrom's about, Frank Saravalli had himself a very brief scouting report on the guy. He had a strong season in Sweden for Regula BK. You can officially add the 2022 third-round pick to the long list of defensemen in Montreal's system. Here is the article on the Canadiens website. 3-season ELC for Adam Engstrom. Can you tell? I translated this from French. The 20-year-old defenseman scored 22 points in 51 games with Regula BK this year. GM of the Canadiens, Kent Hughes, announced Friday that the team had agreed to terms with a 3-season ELC from 24-25 to 26-27 with defenseman Adam Engstrom. Age 20, Engstrom scored 4 goals in addition to 18 assists in 51 games this season with Ängelholm's Regula BK in the Swedish Hockey League. His production of 22 points ranks him second amongst defensemen on his team. The 6'2", 193-pound defenseman also amassed 4 assists in 15 playoff games, helping his team get their hands on the SHL SM silver medal. He further represented Sweden at the 2023 IIHF World Junior Championship, where he recorded 1 goal and 2 assists in 7 games. The Järna, Sweden native, was selected in the 3rd round, 92nd overall by the Canadiens in the 2022 draft. Now that's a very basic report if you wanted to go over what it is that Adam Engstrom is and just what he has accomplished this year, but of course that kind of lacks a bit of context. It doesn't really fully describe what it is that Engstrom offers as a player. 6'2", 190 left-handed defenseman, as we had just been talking about here. The Elite Prospect Scouting Report Guide back from 2022 says that his pace is good and he can travel well with the puck and join the attack as well. He plays a strong rush defense. Adam has a good... It's interesting how they refer to him as Adam and not as Engstrom in the Scouting Report. They talk to him like his first name is the priority here. That's very interesting. Adam Engstrom has a good passing game and scans the ice to find open passes. He pushes the play ahead and does not need to go for his first instinct and can have multiple solutions with the puck. Now, I really, really like that scouting report. And I'll say this right here, right away, if you wanted to get a bigger look as to the intricacies of what makes Adam Engstrom such an amazing player, Hattie K's got your back. This video here by my buddy Hattie on Google, or it's on YouTube, but I just Googled this. You could understand what I'm talking about here. I'll leave a link in the description to Hattie K's video from December, Meet Adam Engstrom, the Montreal Canadiens' most underrated prospect. It's kind of funny because a lot of guys have rotated around that quote-unquote underrated prospect umbrella for the Montreal Canadiens. At one point it was Cole Caulfield, then you had the Lane Hudsons going out there, Sean Farrell was tossed in that too, but Adam Engstrom is a player that I think is deserving of that title, and Hattie K does some very good work describing what it is that Engstrom does so well. Essentially, it's a lot of these things. His skating, his pace, it's very good. His elusiveness on breakouts is very good. The way he's able to transition from defense to offense is exquisite, and his decision-making when breaking out the puck and with pressure is fairly competent. There are some improvements that will need to be made, like his defensive zone responsibility, but when it comes to what Adam Engstrom can do and the way he thinks about the game, pair this with his very good mobility, and you have a package defenseman that almost has some sort of a similar kind of profile as, dare I say, Mike Matheson? Okay, that's a little bit ambitious because Mike Matheson was a 50, 60 point caliber defenseman this year, but Adam Engstrom in the SHL had 22 points in 51 games played, 4 points in the 15 game sample in the playoffs. The interesting thing about Engstrom was that when he was drafted in 2022's third round, he wasn't one of the main guys on his team. Hattie goes out there and talks about this as well, but if you go over to the Djurgården's Junior 20 team, wherein Engstrom was playing in that season, he was overshadowed by some of the other top guys that had made themselves known in that system. Liam Ogren was a first-round guy. Noah Uslan was great too. Jonathan Lekaramaki, awesome. But Kallio Delius was the other defenseman that was seen as sort of the more valuable pickup, and Kallio Delius was a second-round guy versus Engstrom, who was taken in the third round. So there was a little bit of a hierarchy that Engstrom had to work through, but going over to Regla, a team that has experience in developing these younger defensemen, they just developed Moritz Seider, and he's doing pretty all right too. It's been a pretty good transition for him because he was playing a lot of minutes. He was being given a big role. In the postseason, you can see here, Adam Engstrom was averaging, let's say, 18-ish minutes a game in the later series against Skellefteå. He had a few 20, 19-minute games here against the Växjö Lakers, and then against Farjestad in overtime, he played half an hour. Great performance right there. You also had yourselves Cap Friendly going out there and providing a solid scouting report on Adam Engstrom. They have him listed as right defense, even though he is a left-handed guy. And in some of the clips that Hadi actually shows off in this Meet Adam Engstrom video, you can see that he does play the right side despite being a left-handed defenseman. It's a very intriguing profile here. Average between 14 and 22 minutes of time on ice per game in the recent 10-game segment. His primary ice time comes at even strength, but he has seen some power play duties and penalty kill duties as well with the men's team. Adam Engstrom's game looks more confident as the season winds down. He handles the puck very well. He sees the ice, launches the attack in a variety of ways, outlets or skating on his own, and he can be deceptive on the offensive blue line. He finds backdoor seams, presents himself as an option in the offensive zone. He's got good quickness out of the gate, straight line speed is sound, his agility, turns, and pivots to his right have room for improvement, but he is trending up. A two-way, top-four defenseman is possible. And realistically, when you think about it like this, the Montreal Canadiens drafted themselves a potential top-four defenseman in the third round of the 2022 draft. 2022 was 2 years ago. This was so recent, and a guy taken 92nd overall is already being touted as a potential top-four defenseman. That's a pretty good win, all things considered. Like, of course, it's not guaranteed that Engstrom becomes any of this. It's not guaranteed that he plays an NHL game. But just seeing the path, seeing how he's gone this far in such a short amount of time, that's really great. And I think for a lot of Canadiens fans, because nobody really talks about Adam Engstrom in the same way that people talk about okay, let's just toss out a name, the Logan Mayus, or the Lane Hudsons, or even in the past, we talked about Jaden Struble and Jordan Harris and Matthias Norlinder and Romanov and all these guys when they were Montreal Canadiens prospects. Adam Engstrom, I feel like, doesn't have that much hype compared to what we had seen out of those guys in the past few years. But I think it's just because a lot of Canadiens fans started focusing more on the regular team rather than the prospects. We didn't have to look to the future to get excited. We could just say, oh, look at that, Slavkovsky's on the team right now. Josh Waugh's on the team right now. So it was a lot easier to be more in tune with the regular team. That's my hypothesis as to the potential lack of hype that some of these Canadiens prospects nowadays have gotten. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Montreal Canadiens signing Adam Engstrom to a 3-year ELC starting in 2024-2025. What are your thoughts about this guy and the way he's played? If you're a fan of the regular BK, what are your opinions on the way Adam Engstrom progressed with your team? And what are your expectations for him heading into the next few years in NHL action? I hope you enjoyed this video. 99. I gotta go to bed because it's very, very late, and yeah, my credit card's kind of hurting. I spent a lot of money on hockey cards today. Yeah, it's a pretty big hobby, isn't it? Hope you enjoyed this video. 99, and bye.